Hi, guys and gals. Al Smith here. Today, we're going to talk about the third lesson in the first and second seat major suit open response system. That's quite a mouthful. Okay, what we're going to talk about is one no trump semi-forcing with Lebensohl complementing 2/1. All right. Let's take a look at one no trump semi-forcing. It's only used if partner opens one heart or one spade in the first or second seat. That's the only time we're going to use one no trump. It's a complementing mandatory component of 2/1 with the 2/1 convention, or a system if you want to call it a system. I choose to call it a convention. This actually is really a great example of how bridge has evolved over the last 50 years. The first reference I can find to one no trump forcing is back in the 1960s. It's called the one no trump forcing convention, and it is used with the 2/1 convention. Okay, and over time, it has evolved, and one of the more, and I'm not sure when the semi-forcing version came into play, but we'll discuss why semi-forcing is better than forcing. There's actually no difference. It just gives the opener an option that he or she doesn't otherwise have. Okay, but it is a mandatory component, a convention that you have to use with 2/1. Okay, and what it does is it's used for the responder to describe a hand with 5 to 11 length or high card points and less than or equal to 3 card support in the bid major. Okay, so instead of the normal of 6 to 9, it's 5 to 11. Okay, and what it does is complement the 2/1 bids where we're promising gain forcing points of 12 plus length points. Okay, so you know the advantages of 2/1. We talked about that last week, that it establishes an auction where the partners can immediately establish that they've established a gain forcing contract. Okay, let's take a look at this in terms of the schematic. And what we have over here is that, and we'll talk about this in one of the future classes, is that bidding 1/1 raise of the major suit immediately. Well, with one no trump forcing or one no trump, it's used to also as part of the constructive and non-constructive raise, where it's used to get to a non-constructive raise showing 6 to 7 distribution points with only 2 card support, or with 3 card support, or 6 to 9 points with 2 card support. So this is a way of immediately making the 1/1 raise more informative. Okay, it's also used when there's no fit with 6 to 11 points and showing a limit raise by going through one no trump. And we'll discuss these in more detail. But I wanted to put this in a manner so you can see what the waterfront is that the one no trump bid covers. Okay, let's talk about forcing versus semi-forcing first. Okay, and you use one no trump forcing. Okay, your partner makes the announcement forcing. Okay, what does that mean? It says the opener must bid again. Okay, now you say, well, I can always change my mind and not bid. Well, if you do, the opponents will probably incur damage. They'll call the director and you may get an adjusted score. Okay, so the purpose of making the announcement of forcing is it tells the opponents that the opener is going to bid again. Okay, and if the opener doesn't bid again, the opponents probably or may have been damaged. Okay, with semi-forcing, what it does is says, hey, the bid is probably forcing, but the opener has the option to pass. And now, why would we want to do this? Well, let's take a look at this. Okay, and what it specifically applies to is a situation where the opener opens one heart or one spade and has a 5-3-3-2 shape. Got 5 in the major, 3, 3, 2 in the other suits. And given that the responder has indicated that they've got a maximum of 11 points, decides that they have absolutely no possibility for game. Okay, so you say, well, if the opener's got less than or equal to 13 points and the responder's got 11, that's a max of 24. And if 25 is needed per game, well, you're barking up the wrong tree if you think you're going to get the game. So let's take a look at an example here. This is the opener's hand. We've got 5, 10, 11 high card points, 12 length with 12 with the length points. Now this hand could be open using Flannery, but we haven't discussed that yet. Okay, so we're going to assume we're using standard American without Flannery at this particular point in time. And what we're going to do is we're going to open this hand. We've got the 5. Well, I've got too many cards in this hand. Okay, this hand should only have 3 spades. There should be five hearts, 3 spades, 3 diamonds, and 2 clubs. I'll have to fix that in the handout. Okay, it's got the 5, 3, 3, 2 shape. Okay, we've got 12 length points here, plus 11 is a maximum of 23. We know there's absolutely no possibility for game. Okay, so what we want to do, given that and the shape of the hand, 1 no trump is probably the best contract. So what we want to be able to do is we want to pass in this situation. It doesn't come up very often, but when it does, it's very useful. So semi-forcing gives us the capability of passing this hand when it occurs. So that's the whole basis for using semi-forcing versus forcing. It just gives the opener the option to pass when this situation occurs. Okay, 1 no trump semi-forcing is off after interference, as is 1 no trump forcing. So, and it reverts to standard American. So what we're going to assume is that we're using 1 no trump semi-forcing. Okay, now let's look at opener's second bid after 1 no trump semi-forcing. Okay, so the bidding has been the opener made bid 1 heart or 1 spade, and the responder bid 1 no trump. Okay, so what is the opener's second bid? Well, let's look at the priority of the bids in their priority sequence. Okay, and we'll look at strong bids first. And strong bids show shape and 16 plus length points. Okay, so the first one is if we've got a 6 plus solid suit, or a really nice semi-solid suit, 19 plus length points, we're just going to simply bid game. Okay, because our partner has limited their hand, we're going to go to game. Probably going to make that 95% of the time. Okay, if we've got 6 plus and 16 to 18, we're going to do a jump rebid of the major. So by going 1 heart, 1 no trump, 3 hearts, we're showing we've got 6 plus hearts and 16 to 18 points. That gives the sufficient information to the responder to determine whether we should be going to game or not. And if we've got a strong jump shift, we can still use the strong jump shift to say that we have 5 cards in our bid major and 4 to 5 cards in the second suit. Okay, and 18 plus length points. What's important here is to describe the shape of the hand and our points. Okay, and we also still have available to us the reverse if we open 1 heart. We can bid 2 spades. So we've got 1 heart, one no trump by the responder, 2 spades in reverse, and we're showing 5 to 6 hearts, 4 to 5 spades, and 16 plus length points. Note that a reverse does not apply when you have 7 cards in one of the suits, because you've got sufficient number of cards in that suit with 7 that you know where you want the trumps to be. Okay, and the last one here is where you've got the 5, 3, 3, 2 shape and 18 to 19 points. Okay, you really, so what you're doing there is saying, yeah, I've got a no trump type of shape, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to the responder to tell me where you want the contract to be placed. If you're really weak, we're going to end up in 2 no trump or 3 of the major probably. If you're stronger than that, we're going to get up a three no trump or game. So this is the priority order. So what you want to be able to do is just kind of tick down this when you open with the major and your partner bids one no trump, so that you know what you want to do, what bid you want to make. Okay, because by making a bid of two no trump, it denies these other shapes and strengths. Now let's look at the normal end, what I'm going to call the weak opens. Okay, and they're also designed to show shape, but less than or equal to 15 length points. So we can see that we've divided the point range in half, because the open is typically going to be from 13 to 21. If we were stronger than that, we probably would be opening two clubs. So what we succeeded in doing is dividing the opener's point range in half. And the first priority is to rebid the suit if we have a 6+ card suit. So if the bidding is one heart, one no trump, and we bid two hearts, we are guaranteeing, let me say it again, guaranteeing our partner that we have 6+ cards in that suit. That's really important, because now if they've got two, they know that we've got a golden fit with 8 cards, and unless there's some unusual circumstance, that probably should be the trump suit. Okay. Okay, if we open one spade, then two hearts, one spade, one no trump, two hearts, what we're doing is now guaranteeing 4 to 5 hearts. Now it's also possible it's not possible that we started out with 6-6, because if we had six spades and 6 hearts, and we opened one spade, we would rebid the spades by bidding 2 spades, and then given the opportunity to bid again, we bid 3 hearts, and then 4 hearts, and our partner would know that we were 6-6. So it guarantees 4 to 5 hearts and gives the responder the choice of selecting which major he or she likes. Okay, now if the opener, the third priority, is to bid 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, which we call which generally called a convenient minor. Now, but it only guarantees 3+ cards in the suit, and we have an approach to kind of mitigate the problems that this causes. Okay, so 2 clubs and 2 diamonds after one no trump says I don't have a 6-card suit. I don't have 4 hearts if the opening suit was spades, and and that the minor I'm bidding has 3+ cards. And in the last option down here is you can pass with the 5-3-3-2 shape and less than or equal 13 length points. Okay, if you feel that no trump is going to be the best contract. And remember, this is the reason for semi-forcing versus forcing. So you can see that's all the way down here at the very bottom. So all these other bids are going to take priority over that. All right, let's take a look at what I call the convenient minor problem. Okay, the opener has a 5-card major and bids 2 diamonds with 4+ diamonds, or 3 diamonds and 2 clubs, or 3 diamonds and 3 clubs if the opener deems the diamonds to be the better minor. Now, how can this cause a problem? Well, let's take a look at it. It limits the responder from being able to show good clubs or picking the best suit. Okay, because in essence, by using the convenient minor, you're putting the onus on the opener to choose the best suit without information from the responder. Okay, so what we want to do is come up with a means of allowing the responder to pick the best suit and not the opener. Okay, let's take a look at this particular example. We've got 1 heart, 1 no trump by the responder. And what are we going to do here? Okay, the opener's got what? We got 5, 10, 11. We've got 12. Let's do this. This is the same hand. I think I've got 9, 12. I've got 14 cards again here. I'll have to fix this one too. but he only has, pretend he's only got 3 spades. Okay, and the responder bids 1 no trump. You can see the responder's got 3 diamonds and he's got 2 points. He's got 6 clubs, but he doesn't have enough points to bid 2 clubs. He's got 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 length points. So what's he going to do? He's going to bid 1 no trump semi-forcing. Now, it comes back to the opener, and the opener is going to bid 2 diamonds. He's got 3 diamonds, better than the 2 clubs, right? Well, guess what? The contract's going to be in the wrong suit. Totally in the wrong suit, okay? Because we force the opener into the position of having to make the decision of what the best suit is without being able to gather the proper information from the responder. So how do we fix this? Well, it's a pretty easy fix. Now, if you remember, probably a little bit familiar with 1 no trump forcing or semi-forcing, is that if you open 1 spade and your partner bids 1 no trump, and then you bid 2 hearts, you're guaranteeing 4 plus hearts, 4 to 5, right? Well, what if we can guarantee 4 plus diamonds? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to redefine the response and only bid 2 diamonds when we've got 4 plus diamonds. Okay, now, we don't have to alert this because it's a natural bid. Okay, this is a partnership agreement. This is a variation of the response system to 1 no trump semi-forcing or forcing. Okay, but we're going to guarantee 4 plus diamonds. Now, what does this do? Okay, what it does, it changes what 2 clubs means. 2 clubs only guarantees 2 plus clubs in a couple of situations. Okay, now here's an example here. You open 1 heart, you've got 3 spades, and you've got 3 diamonds and 2 clubs. Okay, instead of responding to the opener rebidding 2 diamonds, the opener is going to bid 2 clubs. Now, this also could apply when you had 5 hearts and 4 spades if you're not using Flannery. So, but what this does is now allows the opener to bid clubs at the lowest level when they have an equal number of cards in both of the minors, and they don't have four diamonds. If they've got 4 plus diamonds, then they would use, and 5 hearts, they would use they would pick the best minor. Okay, but what this does then, it's allow the responder to choose the best contract. In this example that we have up here, after the bid of 2 clubs, the responder would pass and it would be in the right contract. Okay, now that's the what I call the second refinement to 1 no trump, the 1 no trump semi-forcing. The third has to do with dealing with shortness in the opener's major suit and the use of the Lebensohl convention construct to alleviate that problem. Let's take a look at when this potentially comes up. It comes up when your partner opens a heart or spade and you've got a single to avoid in the opener's major and a long suit. Okay, now if you're like me, I'd be sitting there, my partner would open 1 heart, I've got avoiding hearts, and I go, and I've got 6 or 7 points, and I've got a bunch of clubs or something, and I'm just shaking my head to myself, and I'm saying, I don't want to bid 1 no trump, but I have to because my partner could have a real barn burner over there, and I don't want to shut him up. So I go ahead and I bid 1 no trump. And what does my partner always do? He bids 2 hearts. So now at the 2 heart level, I've still got a void in those hearts. So how are we going to handle that? How can we bypass that? How can we mitigate the risks associated with that? Okay. And we're only going to use the Lebensohl option when the suit length in my longer suit, I can guarantee the suit length in my longer suit is greater than or equal to the total expected cards in the opener bid suit. And I'll give you some examples on this. Okay, if you have a singleton, okay, a singleton 7, if what the number of cards you need to have in your suit is 7, if opener showed 6 plus cards, okay, because you got 7, he showed 6. That's, you can assume the minimum. You got 1, that's 7. So you got 7, he's got 7. So now the reason you can bid the one with 7 versus, now that's greater than or equal to. So this 7 is greater than or equal to this 7. Okay, now the reason you can go ahead and bid that suit or use the, not bid the suit, but use Lebensohl is because a 7-0 fit is better than a 6-1 fit. It gives you more roughing capability. Now, with 10 to 11 points, okay, what you're going to want to do is directly bid 3 of that suit, because you want to have a way of toggling between the upper bounds of 1 no trump, which of 5 to 11, that's 10 to 11, and the 6 to 9 or the 5 to 9. Okay, with the 5 to 9, you're going to want to sign off. So with 10 to 11 in a long suit, we can go ahead and bid 3 of that suit. That will tell our partner we've got 10, 11. It's invitational to the game based upon what the opener has. Okay, now with 6 to 9, we need to have a way of initiating a sign-off bidding sequence. And I'm going to assume that most of you are familiar with what Lebensohl is and the structure of the Lebensohl convention. So the way that we initiate Lebensohl, what I call the weak, how to show a weak hand with Lebensohl, is to bid 2 no trump. The way that we show an intermediate or an invitational hand is by bidding 3 of the suit. That's why we bid 3 of the suit up here with 10 to 11. So when we bid 2 no trump, what this commands the opener to do is to bid 3 clubs. Okay, then the responder can bid the suit that they have or sign off in clubs by passing clubs. So it's a way of the responder controlling the auction so they don't end up in a very bad fit in one of the majors. Okay, let's take a look at an example here. Okay, in this example, our partner opens 1 heart. Okay, we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 length points. Okay, we don't have enough points to bid 2 clubs, because if we bid 2 clubs, we would be creating a game forcing auction. And that is the last thing we want to do, because we only have a singleton heart. So we bid 1 no trump, and our partner bids 2 hearts. Now we know our partner has 6 hearts. Could have more, but probably 6. So we've got 6 hearts from our partner, 1 in our hand, that's 7. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clubs. So since we've got 11 points here, what we want to do is we want to invite our partner to invite our partner to explore game. So what we're going to do is we're going to bid 3 clubs. You can see with that 11 points, if our partner's got let's say our partner's got a heart stopper and a spade stopper, and perhaps the king, maybe even the queen of clubs, this card is going to be a slam dunk to make 3 no trump. Okay, now let's take a look at this hand here. In this one, our partner opened 1 spade. We've got a void in spade. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9 length points. We've got 3 length points for the 5th, 6th, and 7th heart. Okay, we've got 9 length points. Okay, we know that we're going, we have to bid. What are we going to bid? We can't bid 2 hearts because we don't have enough points. So what we're going to do is we're going to bid 1 no trump, and our partner bids 2 spades. Darn, partner got 6 of them. Okay, so how do we get our partner to recognize that we've got the lower end of the point spectrum and that we want to sign off in hearts? What we're going to do is we're going to bid 2 no trump, and our partner is then going to bid 3 clubs. And any bid that we make below our partner's major suit bid is going to be a sign off. So we could sign off in clubs by passing. We could sign off in diamonds by bidding 3 diamonds. And in this case, we can sign off by bidding 3 hearts. That says, this is all I've got to say. Now, our partner is going to know that we have at least 6 hearts and a void, or at least 7 hearts. If we, because we're guaranteeing that we're guaranteeing we have more clubs and hearts than he has in spades. He's guaranteed as 6. Okay, we don't want to go up another level unless we can guarantee that we've got more cards in that suit. So the opener can now, based upon our bid, know that we have long hearts, and sometimes you can get a super fit even with this bidding sequence. And the opener may have the capability of exploring game, but the responder has basically said everything that he or she can say. In this last example, okay, it's a little bit more typical of some of the other things that occur. We've got 1 spade, we go 1 no trump, and our partner goes 2 hearts. Okay, so we know our partner has at least 5 spades, does not have 6 because it did not rebid the spades. Bid 2 hearts, they've got 4 or 5 hearts. We look at our hand, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 length points. So we bid 1 no trump to begin with. How do we get our partner? How do we get the contract placed in clubs? We use Lebensohl. We bid 2 no trump. Our partner accepts and bids the 3 club relay, and we pass. So you can see how this works in order to get to another suit when you have a misfit, and both in terms of a game invitational hand and also in terms of a sign off. This is a really nice refinement. This is fairly recent to 1 no trump that a lot of people aren't using yet, but it's just the Lebensohl structure can get used in multiple places throughout the bidding system. And what we're going to do real quickly here, and this is kind of lengthy, but I wanted to go through it, is how does what is the opener, based upon what the opener's second bid is, what does the responder do? Okay, so we're going to look at these where the opener bid 2 spades, showing they've got a minimal hand, less than or equal to 15 points, and 6 plus spades. So what's the responder going to do? Okay, the responder with second bid with 2 to 3 card fit in that bid major. Remember, they have not denied having a fit in the major, a 3-card fit, because you can actually go through 1 no trump. Your partner responds, you jump to 3 of the major, it indicates a limit raise. Okay, so this is a situation where we have a fit. So if you've got, you're going to bid game with 12 plus distribution points. Now the responder, because they know they have a golden fit of 8 plus card, gets to count distribution points. Okay, so they get to upgrade their hand based upon distribution. If you've got 12 plus points, going to bid 4. If they've got 3, they're going to bid. If they get 10 to 11, they go invite game. In essence, the limit raise. Okay, puts the captaincy hat back on the opener, and the opener then is going to look at his or her hand and decide whether they have enough to go to game or to pass. Okay, and if they have less, okay, what they're going to do is pass, because if your partner, the opener, is limiting his or her hand to 15 points, you've got 6 to 9. 9 plus 15 is 24. That's not enough for game. So we've got up here, we've got where you found a fit. Easy peasy. Let me turn that off. Take out the battery. Okay, now let's deal with the situation where we have a misfit. Okay, and a singleton, and we're going to talk first about where we have a singleton in the bid major. Okay, and in this case, we've got 10 to 11 points. If we've got 10 to 11 points and 7 plus cards in a suit, okay, because we've got 1, opener's promised 6, that's 7, we could then bid that suit. Now, because we've got 10 to 11 points, we want to make a game invitational bid, which is non-forcing. Okay, we're promising a long suit. Okay, so our opener will have the capability of passing it if he or she wants to. So we're going to bid 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, or 3 hearts. This is where the opener has bid 2 spades. Okay, that guarantees equal or longer suit, invites 3 no trump, or a minor suit game. It denies any desire to play game in the major suit. Okay, now the opener can always put on blinders and say that's where they're going because they've got a very powerful 6-card suit and other points, and that the major is going to provide a better score than the minor. Okay, the responder after this can bid 2 no trump, which is the Lebensohl relay to 3 club. It's a sign off, and then sign off in the 7+ card suit, or they can just simply pass. So these are really the 3 options after the opener bids 2 spades showing, or the rebid spades showing 6+. If it's a void, okay, it's basically the same structure. Okay, now the only thing that changes here is the required number of cards, okay, from 7 to 6, because if you've got a void, your partner has promised 6, and you have 0, that total is 6. Now, the probability is that your partner is going to have more than a void in your longer suit. That's why we're making the preference to go to the 3 level and to show our 6+ card suit is if we've got a void. Because if he's got 1 or 2, the opponents are going to have less, and the probability of a bad split goes down. Okay, let's take a look at it with 2 hearts. Basically the same thing in terms of where we've got a 2-3 card fit. Okay, we've got that fit. We're going to bid it based upon the number of points that we've got. Okay, now with the misfit, we're going to do the same thing here. Now, there's one little interesting twist here, is that the situation is such that partner opened a heart. We said 1 no trump. We said 2 hearts, showing 6+ hearts. Okay, now what's the 2 spade bid? Well, the 2 spade bid is called the impossible 2 spade bid. Why? Because if you had 4 spades and your partner opened 1 heart, instead of bidding 1 no trump, you would bid 1 spade to show that 4 card or 4+ card spade suit. Okay, so 2 spades has no meaning. Okay, so by bidding 2 spades in this particular sequence called the impossible 2 spade bid, it says, hey, I've got 10 to 11 high card points. Okay, and I'm inviting you, and it also says they have 2 cards in the major, so they've got tolerance for the bid major. I'm inviting you to go to game, inviting you to explore game in no trump. Doesn't deny having game in the major, but it opens the door so that between the 2 of you, you can better decide whether to be in no trump or in the major suit. Now, again, you can bid 3 clubs or 3 diamonds with a long suit. Again, long suit with 10 to 11 points, in case we're back to 7 again. Okay, and you'd also go through Lebensohl again. Okay, you could pass it all the other times. Now, same structure again with respect to the having a void, except instead of requiring 7, it only requires 6. So let's continue this. Now, let's take a look at the situation where your partner opened 1 spade, you bid 1 no trump, and then he said 2 hearts. Okay, now you know your partner's got 5 to 6 spades. He's got 5 spades, not 6. I'll have to change this, correct this to 5 spades and 4 to 5 hearts. Because if he had 6 spades, he would have rebid the spades to begin with. Okay, and now this is one of the interesting things. It shows less than or equal to 17 points. And 17 points because you couldn't do a jump shift. If you could have done a jump shift, you would have jumped to 3 hearts. Okay, so now just kind of a reminder: 4-4 is better than a 5-3 in terms of a trump suit fit, because you can do you can do what's called a dummy reversal in the play and extend the power of your trumps by increasing the roughing value. Okay, so if this occurs and you've got 5 spades and 4 hearts, and you also have 4 hearts to your partner as the responder, and the opener bid 2 hearts, now you know you've got a 4-4 fit. Okay, if you've got 12 plus points, you're going to game. If you've got 3, you're going to invite game. And if you've got 6 to 9, you're going to say, hey, we got a 4-4 fit in hearts, and I like hearts a lot better than spades, so I'm going to pass. Now, if you've got 2 spades and 2 to 3 hearts and 10 to 11 points, responder can investigate game. Okay, so you're going to bid the suit with a blocker up the line to investigate 3 no trump. Now, that's a blocker up the line. Up the line is if the suit is hearts, it would be spades, then clubs, then diamonds. Okay. If you skip a suit, an unbid suit, it indicates that you have no blocker in that suit. So it kind of says then it says back to the opener, hey, I don't have a blocker in that suit. Do you have a blocker in that suit? If he doesn't have a blocker in that suit, no trump is not viable. Okay, opener bids 3 hearts if no blocker in the skipped suit. Okay, now, for example, okay, in this particular case, they skipped spades and they bid 3 clubs. The opener doesn't have a blocker. Well, he should have a blocker in spades because he bids. Let's say it goes 1 spade, 1 no trump, and then the opener bids 2 hearts. Okay, if the responder then bids 3 diamonds after the 2 hearts, that would deny a blocker in clubs. And if the opener does not have a blocker in clubs, he would then bid 3 hearts. Okay, you go, well, why is he bidding 3 hearts? Well, he's going to leave the decision up to the responder then to make the decision whether he wants to play the contract in hearts or spades, because the opener has indicated they've got 2 suits. Remember, I've got to change this to 5 and 4, 5, 4 to 5. Okay. Now, if a misfit, we come back to the same type of situation we had before. So you've got a 7+, you've got, actually, this would be a 6+ card suit. I've got a number of small errors in here I've got to correct. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're still going to be able to invite game. We're still going to be able to go through Lebensohl to sign off in a long suit. And we can then place the contract in the best fit with 5-2 or 4-3 fit if we don't have any of the above. Okay, and this next one here is pretty much the same. Okay, now in this one here, however, we no longer have the Lebensohl option. Okay, the opener has opened bid 2 diamonds. It shows 5 of the major, and because we're using the modified response system, it guarantees 4+ diamonds. It actually guarantees 4 to 5 diamonds. Okay, so now with 10 to 11 and 2 card support in the major, we can with 4+ diamonds, we can go ahead. If we've got 4+ diamonds and 2+ cards in the major, we can go ahead and bid 3 diamonds. By going from 2 to 3, we're showing, hey, we've got a fit for you in diamonds. Now we know that we've got at least an 8-card fit. And this invites game. And we want to do it at 3 diamonds because it allows us the room and the latitude to explore bidding 3 no trump. Okay, because obviously 3 no trump is a lot easier to make than 5 diamonds. Okay, now if we happen to bid 3 clubs in this particular situation, we're still showing 10 to 11 points, 6+ clubs, just like we had before. So you see a lot of synergy of the response system is between the various options. And again, the 2 spades is still the impossible 2-spade bid. Okay, and again, now the opener has the information available to them to determine where to place the contract. Now, given 2 diamonds responder may still have a long club suit and want to place the contract in 3 clubs, a minimum hand with long clubs. They can bid Lebensohl again when the responder, when the opener accepts the relay and bids 3 clubs. He'll pass and it'll be in the right contract. All right, so okay, I'm not going to go through all of these because, but I've got them all in here. So they all have basically the same structure. One thing I wanted to point out here is when they bid 2 clubs, it's only guaranteeing 2+ clubs. Okay, there's a couple of potential shapes that only have 2 clubs. Okay, so if you want to show support for clubs, you need to have 5+ cards in support rather than 4, because if you, as with 2 diamonds, you're guaranteeing 4. Here, you're only guaranteeing 2. The majority of the time, it'll be 3 or more, but we're going to raise the requirement there to show a fit. And now, the other thing is, if you bid 2 no trump here, okay, in this situation, it's not Lebensohl because of the bidding sequence. And what it's showing is the 10 to 11 points with blockers in the end bid suits. It invites 3 no trump. So it's going to take some time for you to map these out and get fully grasp what's going on there. So let's come down here, and I don't have any examples in this particular lesson, but I wanted to do is put together a list of what all the potential bids are and what they mean in terms of the number of cards in the suit for the in relationship to the 1 heart and the 1 spade open. So you can say here that we have 1 heart, 1 no trump, 2 clubs, only promises 2+ and less than or equal to 17 points. Remember, if you need 18 for a jump shift, you'll see if you go through here and look at how these all dovetail together, you'll see how the 1 no trump works in relationship to all the various bids. Okay, that concludes the lesson for today. I'll fix a couple of those minor errors in the handout and upload the course handout to the cloud. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is